Yo, what is up everyone? Tachi here. So today I'm going to bring you guys 5 tips to actually get stronger in the game. I'm trying my best to catch up and I think I'm doing pretty good. So you guys see here, I'm starting to break in. I'm only about 4k behind Starry. Enough calling them out. Let's talk about the tips. So the first tip I'm going to suggest that most people do, and apparently a lot of people are not aware of this. I guess maybe people just didn't click on this, but when you click on this, by default it's on anyone, but I would highly suggest changing it over to like only friends or only guild members. I see some people have it on only selected friends, which is fine. Obviously you can just go ahead and select your strongest friends, preferably DPS or like maybe one healer or something, because they'll be the ones that will always go around with you when you're doing your missions. If you've noticed, there are some stages, especially as you get later into the game, where you can't really do it with these randos because sometimes you just get really weak people. And this is one of the reasons why you should probably try your best to get like really high rank friends. People with a lot of points, like, I don't know, 60k, 100k, whatever. If you can actually find them, just follow them. You can, even if you don't know them personally, like straight up, just go into the top guild rankings and just like go through the entire member list of all the top guilds. Most of them will be maxed out because you can only have so many people following you, but just you're eventually going to find one of the people with 60k plus that doesn't have a full follow list, and you can follow him and you can use him when you do co-op and whatnot. This is going to help you a lot in terms of like farming things out quickly. But if you have only selected friends, the problem with this is that when you do co-op, then literally no one other than these people can really join you. Kind of selective. So maybe better to curate your friends list, or obviously your guild members. If your guild is a strong guild, then click that on. Or if you have a curated friends list and a decent guild, put this on, whatever. So just make sure it's on one of these. This is going to help you out not only in story, but it's even going to help you out in events. Remember that Gorilla is only available for 30 minutes 5 times a day. Yes, they are at set times. I know I heard some guys saying, I do watch other content creators sometimes, but the amount of misinformation going around right now is kind of crazy. I saw one content creator saying that it's like, it's kind of random. Like it's randomized what time they come up. It's not random. They have specified times to come up. You might not know it, but that doesn't mean it's random. But anyways, not the point. Just keep that in mind. Not everything that everyone says is correct. Even what I say could be incorrect. It's up to you guys. You can believe me, and then you can go try and ask someone else, see their opinion. At the end of the day, most of this stuff is opinionated anyways. On to the second tip. So in terms of gear, I seem to notice a lot of people are really like throwing all of their stuff onto one piece of gear. Now, yeah, you should probably level up certain gear that's like obviously something you're going to be using for a while. Like for example, this is a fully limit broken. This is obviously a paid piece of equipment. This is a paid piece of equipment that is fully max limit broken, right? So, okay, fine. It's evolved, it's max limit broken, but it's more important because as you level up the item, it's going to cost more and more EXP to level up. It's more important to just equalize your stuff. So that's why you see, I really wish I didn't long press that. That's why you see, for example, that all of these stuff are like level 40, like 30 or 50 something. And the reason why I keep these at 50 right now is because they aren't evolved, and there's no real point in getting it to 55 if you're going to evolve it anyways, because you only need it to be level 50 to evolve. Same can be said for SR items. SR items only need to be 60 to evolve them. Even if you have the max limit broken or at least a little limit broken, you don't need to get them any higher. You just need to get them to 60 and then you can evolve them. So don't really waste too many EXP on that. There's no point in doing it. And yeah, if you do that, whether it's for weapons or nightmares, which I haven't done, I should do that soon. Whenever I get nightmare EXP, just spread it out. Don't focus on one. Even if one of them is like your main, like just keep it a little high level. You don't have to go too high. Don't try to get this to level 120 ASAP. You don't need to do that. It's fine. It's better for you to do it like this. Just spread it out. Primarily focusing on your S and above. But even some A ones, if you can evolve them, which you should be able to pretty easily, just do that. That's fine. And the next tip is regarding vanguards. Now, as you guys know, everyone keeps asking like, hey, how do I swap people for vanguard? Now, obviously that's automated like by default, obviously, as it should be. Otherwise, if the guild master is absent, you're not even going to be able to select who goes. So it's mostly automated by the top 5 in terms of points. And from there, obviously, you can figure this out. So if you guys notice something down here, you see where it says rearguard preferred? You can cancel and confirm. So when you do that, and how you do that is by going into preferences and you put it here. You put rearguard preferred, cancel. You can even go further and you can refuse to outright switch. So in case you guys didn't know, people in the front, or well, pretty much anyone can swap positions in actual Guild War. And I don't actually have it with me right now, obviously, but on the bottom right of Guild War, there's like a little menu. It's actually probably going to be called menu. You click it, and then from there you can swap positions. I think I did allude into this in one of my basic guides, one of the first ones that I had done. So yes, you can actually swap positions if you want to, but for the most part, at least for now, I would highly suggest you just leave it as is, because for the most part, the people who have the highest points are typically the strongest people in your guild, and you probably want them to be in the front line anyways, assuming of course that they are actual DPS people. If they're supporting there in the front, you're right, move them to the back, that's fine. But that's definitely something you should be coordinating with your guild anyhow. And maybe communicate with your guild members to have this set up so that the members who you want in the front will have that as canceled and everyone else will have it as confirmed. So other than that, the next tip we're going to talk about is how to limit break classes. Now, obviously you guys have probably been in the upgrade menu and you guys see limit break class. How do you limit break classes? It's darked out. How do you do that? Well, pretty simple. All you have to do is get an item called an Arcana. Now, you can get Arcana in multiple ways, but probably the primary way you're going to be getting them yourself is through event medals, either event medals, trend medals, friend medals, whatever it is. Just go through, you can see, scroll down, and you see here. See Pinocchio Paladin and Pinocchio Paladin Arcana. What's an Arcana? Well, Arcanas are basically the same thing as dupes in this game. So they're the thing that help you, or more specifically, they're the things that you actually use to limit break heroes. And for the most part, this is how you get Arcanas. You just go through it like this. See, there's Red Riding Hood Cleric. I believe her class is in here because I already got it. I think that's a paid class if I'm not mistaken. Friend Medal's the same thing. You see there's Sleeping Beauties there. So just keep that in mind. That's most of the time, that's where you're going to get it. There you see Alice Cleric. So that's where you get Arcana. There's a bunch of them there. So just make sure that you're onto that. Obviously, like I said in the Spender's Guide, you definitely want to be focusing more on nightmares first as opposed to classes, because the amount of stats that you're going to gain from a class like right now, from 10 to 12, let me even see if I can show you level 12. The amount of stats that you gain from 10 to 12, like you're gaining 400 points for 500 charm medals, for example. And charm medals are what you get from limit breaking gear, right? And obviously I think you can get it from selling high-end gear as well, which I usually won't suggest doing, but there's an exception to that, and maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But 400 points is not that much when a nightmare gives you, what is it, like 2k minimum, especially an SR nightmare, which is what you buy and shop typically. Not worth it in my personal opinion, so just stick away from that. And the final thing I'd like to talk about is friendship medals. Now, friendship medals is going to be a little bit harder for you guys to get, but all you need to do is, alright, let's try this one more time. Let's go really quick. Alright, we barely made it. Alright, so like I was trying to say, all you need to do is join a co-op room with a friend. We're not going to talk about that. All you need to do is join a co-op room with a friend, a guildmate, whatever. Obviously not random. If you do it with a random, you're not going to get shit. At least not friendship medals. So keep that in mind. I know it's a little hard. I know it's hard, you know, making friends, but just going to have to go out there and just going to have to do it. You got no choice. Do it for the waifus, bro. Do it for the waifus. Or Pinocchio. Pinocchio's fine too. So just make sure you actually have some sort of coordination, because if you're even a little bit off and it's like a fast run, you're just not going to be able to join, as you probably saw a second ago. So yeah, just go ahead and do those, and then as you can see here, you'll get your friendship medals. And if you do this often, you'll just stack it up, so you'll be able to grab all that friendship shit real quick. Anyways, that is the end of this video. If you guys find it helpful, please share it around. These tips will be so helpful for a lot of people who just aren't aware of all of this stuff. And I'll continue to make guides, so hit that subscribe button. For now, I'm out. Have a nice day.